Hello traders! Today Theo, legend, graduate of the course, is here with us. In the middle of the night of Australia, Theo is joining us. Good morning, Theo. So good to be with you. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Good morning, Ella, and good morning all. Thank you for that, and I'm glad to be up at this time of the morning. I actually feel wide awake, so no, it's all good.
Theo, could you please share anything you wish about yourself, about your background and your trading prior to coming to Fibonacci Trading Institute?
Yeah, sure. I started well over 10, 15 years ago now. I was dabbling part-time like many of us set out trying to make a quick profit, because of the, and mind you, the technology wasn't, I guess, as overwhelmingly complex as it is now. But my journey began just like many in purchasing various courses, and I mean literally spending thousands of dollars in spending courses when software, and it was probably a bad time for me because at that particular time, a lot of the software development was kind of at the initial phase. So, whatever came out, you were kind of drawn to whatever was introduced at the time and thinking that, oh yeah, this is the holy grail, I'm going to do well. And of course, you blow accounts. I was lucky not to blow that many accounts. I did get myself to a deficit with a broker, and it wasn't my fault. Their systems actually went down. Probably about 20 years ago now, they had a major system failure, and I was down $2,500 at the time on the Deutschmark. Luckily I did end up getting my money back at the time, and that was a lot of money back then. But I was one that thought that you could buy textbooks and read and keep reading, and because my background is in design engineering, so I was really technical. I'm a very technical person, and that in itself, it can be a negative, can create a negative impact because you feel that everything equates to a number, an equation, and it's not the case. This game involves both art form and involves a lot of emotional input and output, and it takes a lot of dedication, and just mere dedication is not enough as well, because you can dedicate yourself to spending 20 hours a day with useless information, and that won't, unfortunately, help a trader if they're not on if they don't adopt to a method which is solid, with defined entries, based on price action itself, and staying away from red news events. Do not trade the open, in my opinion. Stay away from trading the first 5 or 10 minutes of the market. You've got a lot of games played. You've got orders from the day before. That's why many times you get these ugly wicks and candles, at the opening. So I'm not one that will trade the opening. I'd like to trade patiently and trade with a systematic approach. And Ala, your methodology, I came across it many years ago, and having read God Bless His Soul. Now, Brad was one of the first podcast members I came across, and I was really drawn to your methodology because it purely is based on price with a twist in the Fibonacci levels, which is so uncannily accurate, and it's a multiple time frame approach which focuses on the bigger levels down to your 60-minute, evidently for intraday traders, which in itself is a very very good, powerful time frame. But with today's markets, one really needs to be cognizant, of the bigger levels at play, and there's a lot of there are a lot of outside factors. The news with tariffs being introduced, you see some really whippy moves, and it requires a lot of caution, I believe, at the moment. It's not. I don't believe the markets have become easier. If anything, they're a lot more difficult, and one needs to be patient. And I often don't trade in succession, sometimes for 2 or 3 days in a row, and then I might have 4, 5, 6 trades in one day. I like to stalk the market and look for those high probability, what I call edge trades from key levels, and it keeps me focused. It doesn't cause me a lot of stress because I'm not one to overtrade, and that's how I prefer to build up an account. And I also trade micros as well, in addition to the minis, because micros allow me to scale out. And if one thinks that they can't make a lot of money from micros, they're they're not doing well by themselves in not trading micros. Micros allows you to have very small stops, and I think that they're a lot better in terms of scaling and position sizing. And my risk is something which is very important. I don't care what methodology I use. If I have to risk more than 0.5 to 1%, I've now brought down my risk to 0.5% and I will not take any risk beyond 1%, because you just never know, and you don't, and it also allows you to not trade with scared money. The biggest, I think, setback I see many traders is they're way too leveraged, and this is why they blow accounts. But your methodology is just so uncannily accurate, Allah. The approach is allows one to trade with discipline. It's non-rushed, and that's why I feel for any newbies out there, they've basically come to the right group mentoring with you. And I'm not paid to say this, but it's just an approach that is just so sound and so logical.
Theo, thank you so much for your very kind words. Please share, what do you trade? What are your favorite time frames and what instruments?
Yeah, sure. I was focused a lot in cash FX a while back, but what I've done now is because of the way the futures markets have keeping me so busy, and also with my personal stuff that's happening. I don't want to be behind the desk 24/7, so to speak. So what I've done is I've minimised my trading where I can just basically trade the core indices such as the ES, the YM, CL, and even on days the NQ. And the NQ, I have to say, is a beast. I trade the NQ with micros. I do not trade the NQ with minis. And it's not my preferable instrument, but because of its volatility and its expansion, it does give you a good bang for the buck, so to speak. So that's also one of the instruments I trade. And as far as FX is concerned, I predominantly trade the FX now as futures instruments, and it depends on what's setting up, whether it be the Australian dollar or the euro or the Japanese yen. I still look at spot FX as well from time to time, but that's not predominantly what my main focus is on.
So are you trading on Ninja Trader platform alone, or are you also trading on a...
Correct. Ninja platform. I still do have MT4 open, and I also have TradingView open because TradingView offers a lot of instruments, and it's just good to eyeball. I also eyeball some of the cryptos as well. It just creates a bit of a different headspace, and I find some of the cryptos fascinating, even though I don't do as much crypto trading as I probably would like, because I'm very, very focused and very busy with the indices and trading one to two instruments as far as I'm concerned is also not a bad start for a beginner, especially instruments such as the YM and the ES. I would not personally recommend instruments such as the NQ for a beginner trader.
So traders, please take a look on Theo's statement. As you can see, results are absolutely phenomenal. Profit factor 5.8 means on every single dollar Theo risks, Theo is making 5 times, almost 6 times more. Success rate 91%, winning trades 87, losing trades 8. And the extremely important part, as you can clearly see, Theo is not over trading minimum number of trades per day, correct? So Theo...
That is... Yes. I'll have to interject. Yes, that has been, I guess, the goalpost for me from the very initial outset. I used to overtrade a lot. I used to trade 20, 30 times, 40, 50 times a day. Don't get me wrong. I used to do a lot of trading, and I wasn't necessarily losing money either. But it was very, very stressful for me. I used to look at. I always had a fascination towards Fibonacci. I used to look at XABCD formations, harmonics with Fibonacci before I got on board with yourself, and that wasn't too bad for me because I'm kind of mathematically inclined. I love that approach, but it was just way too stressful, over trading, and I needed something to simplify the approach and your levels, that you have, the proprietary levels, because I don't want to say too much about what your teachings are. Your proprietary levels are just spot on, Ala. I mean, even for counter trend trading, I do trade counter trend as well. And why shouldn't one? I mean, if I've got if we're coming to a key institutional level of resistance, and you've got a higher time frame resistance, and without going into the workings of what you teach, and then you have the right conditions on a smaller time frame setting up, whether you have 2 or more alerts using the software as well. I do use the software, mind you, and it's a great piece of software. That's all I need. And as I said, if it's 1 trade a day, if it's 2 trades a day, if it's 0 trades a day, there might come a day where I trade 5, 6 times, and so it all balances out. But one thing I tend to avoid is trading in the middle, unless, of course, I have I've got a longer time frame support or resistance level, which can back me up, and then of course I will take the conditional entry based from the software that is highlighted. And having said that, I will also take into account what risk, how much am I risking? How much am I likely to make? How much am I risking? What brick wall do I have in front of me? These are the questions that your approach clearly answers, Ella, and I really thank you for providing that.
Thank you, Theo. Thank you, Theo, so much. Performance is absolutely phenomenal. In the months of February, from February until April, which giving us February, March, 2 months, profits of $28,000. Phenomenal, absolutely stunning, vertical, profitable curve with success rate of 91% and profit factor 5.8. Huge applause to your phenomenal, incredible work. Thank you, Theo. I'm so happy for you. Very important question. What would your advice be to students? What did it take for you to accomplish this? How much effort did you have to make when you started the course?
I would highly recommend students to look at your brain health science course, Ella, because I tell you, one has to be in total equilibrium in this game. Having the technicals and having the the roadmap in front of you is fine, but you've got to have the right mindset. You have to have a clear mindset, and also you have to be able to trade without scared money at stake. Do not trade money that's set out for your daughter's university or your son's university or medical expenses or whatnot. You need to. I highly recommend newbies to trade micros, to start off with micros, demo trading, spending a lot of hours just simming, just doing replays. You know what, Ella, I still do a lot of replays. I forgot to mention that, but one of my key highlights is for myself is I just love to, when I've got the time over the weekend, to just go back and pick random days and load up the software, put up that chart, the line chart, without going into the nitty-gritty of it, and just looking at support, resistance, drawing out levels, and this is where it becomes a bit of this is where I believe that what you teach also becomes intuitive. It's an art form too, because you get in tune with price action. Your methodology allows one to really delve into what price structure, where price structure is at, what is price structure doing in multiple time frames, and you just become in tune with the market. But I recommend that newbies trade markets such as YM and even ES, but to trade them on micros and set up demo accounts and do a lot of replays. I mean, countless replays, because what that does is it creates a neural. It programs. You program the neurons, and you condition your mindset to gaining confidence that way, Ella, by doing replays. It's just like a jet pilot who does probably more sim training, and someone like Tom Brady, who just was spending countless hours of practicing. Practicing should take up more time than actual trading. That is how one can condition their whole mental approach to getting that confidence, and also building their journal to monitor their progress as they go on.
Thank you so much for that. As you can hear, traders, phenomenal preparation and love for financial markets is absolutely critical to success, and as Theo shares, taking greatest care of your incredible brain and your health is absolutely phenomenal base to your success. Thank you, Theo. Thank you so much for taking your time to stop by to share your journey. If there is anything else you would like to add, any other advice to graduates, to students who listen to you, and to new students who are thinking about joining us?
Yes, just especially to new students who are thinking of joining, don't overthink it. I highly recommend it to take on board this approach. It's very solid, it's very consistent, it's uncannily accurate, and for existing students, there is just a ton, and I go through it myself, and I probably haven't gone and looked at your past years as much as I would like to. So busy, but always go back and just review, the teachings and the videos that Allah has. They are just, it doesn't matter if, they're a year old or 6 months old or 2 years old. It doesn't matter. Price action is price action. Allah has just got a ton of golden nuggets on her site there for us members, and just stick with it. Perseverance is very important, and just build up your skill set by practicing. Just practice, and then once you kind of feel that you're getting it, just start demo trading. Do forward testing. Just take sim trades. And then go small. Start off with the micros. That's how I started. I still do a lot of practice. I manage my position sizing. I don't say to myself, I can only afford to lose $200 or $300. No. I believe in position sizing. You've got a certain amount that you're going to dedicate to trading. You work out your percentages, and I'm very conservative. As I said, I go out from 0.5% to 1%. So instead of you making $1,000 a day, you make $500 a day. You make $300. Whatever the market gives you. I mean, we can't predict what the market will give us. All we can do is try and manage and control our risk. That's probably the best advice I'd give not only the newbies but even seasoned traders out there.
Thank you, Theo. Thank you so much. Always incredible to connect with you. Always incredible to hear your voice. And absolutely thrilled for you to see your phenomenal success. Thank you, Theo, so much. Please come back anytime. Please keep in touch. It's always a gift to everyone to see you, to hear your journey, to see your phenomenal success story. Thank you so much, Theo.
You're very welcome, Alpha. Thank you very much for what you do to everyone. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Theo. Thank you so much. Please come back anytime. Means the world. Thank you.